Good morning. Alright, so yesterday we got the bin half full. Plan is today to finish off that batch in there and get that drying. We talked about opening up another field that was planted a little later to put some wetter corn in the bin and maybe save some of this drier corn to haul to town once we get the bin full. But we'll see what happens. We got Dylan coming out running the auger cart. Would you hush? Anyways, I'm gonna go look over the combine. Sadie, chill. Does anybody else see what I did wrong here? The sun's over there. My windows are facing this way. Rookie move. I normally try and park the equipment facing to the east, so when the sun comes up, it burns the dew off the windshield. Oh well. Oil's good. I'm gonna check my belts and chains. That feels a little loose. That one's all right. That's better. You don't want it too tight. Everything looks good on that side. Clean grain and the return are good. That one's still good. That little guy's still good. We're probably not going to start running for another hour or so, so I think I'm going to turn the combine around and face it towards the sun and see if we can melt that dew off the windshield. That's better. Dad said the stirrators and the fans and the burners and everything ran good all night. Knock on wood. Anybody who knows, anybody who runs a drying bin like that knows what I mean. They can be a major pain sometimes. Hopefully it just keeps running and drying and everything's good. You guys want to see that new piece of equipment? Well, what do you think? It's shiny, isn't it? It just so happened that I hit 1,000 subscribers and this thing showed up. I guess you could call this the 1,000 subscriber new piece of equipment special. So this is a 2006 Peterbilt 378. It's got a C13 cat, 13-speed transmission, 370 rear ends. It's already set up for the wet kit so we can pull our dump trailers. And I think it's a pretty good looking truck. So there you have it. There's a new piece of equipment. Can't wait to hook it onto something and see how it pulls. I think Dad's anxious to haul something with it too. Well, I had to run to the bank real quick before they closed. Let's get in the combine. Let's go pick some corn. We're gonna go open up that field down there. That was planted, I don't even know, maybe like June 6th or 7th. It's probably gonna be pretty wet, but Dad said he just wants to get it opened up and see what the moisture is. I mean, if it's not crazy wet, we'll probably finish off the bin with that corn. That way, if we get it full, we can haul that drier stuff to town and we won't have such a big drying bill. So, we'll see what happens. It's saying 27.5% moisture. So I don't think we're gonna stay here any longer. Oh, now it jumped up to 29.7. We'll probably just take the end rows off of this, go back to the dryer corn. It's gonna cost too much to dry it down. So this farm we were at, there's I think 90 acres total. It's split up into 4 fields. The reason why is because back in the day, whenever my great-grandpa bought this farm, they didn't have tile that you could put in the sand that wouldn't fill up with sand after a year or two. So what they did was they dug ditches to drain the water and basically did that to get rid of the surface water. So we got ditches cutting up this farm to make it 4 field. Got a can sample. This this corn's awfully wet. A lot of it isn't even black layered yet. And what that means is you scratch the tip off, and see this one isn't black layered, but scratch the tip off, there'll be a layer of just black. That means the corn is mature, it's done growing, you got all you're gonna get out of it, and it's not good to put corn in a dryer that isn't black layered, because then it just turns into fines and mush, and it's not very good for storing. So we're gonna go up to the house, talk to Dad, see what he wants to do. Sadie is a true farm dog. I think harvest is her favorite time of year. can sample tested 26.6. We're gonna open up the rest of the field and see what that's like. Probably end up going back in this drier corn. So if we were to take 25-26% corn to town, I believe it would cost around 50 cents a bushel to dry it. And we're looking at corn right around that $4 mark. You take 50 cents off of that, you're back at $3.50, which is kind of where we were at last fall. We would like to capture some of these better markets now that, you know, the markets are figuring out that there's not as much corn and beans out there as they thought they were. But if you're spending 50 cents a bushel to dry it, you're kind of defeating the purpose. So we might have some decent drying days left, so we're gonna let this sit out in the field. It's standing pretty good. We'll probably move to something that was planted a little earlier and see what the moisture is on that after we get this bin filled. Back in 2009, we dealt with very similar conditions to this year. We got a lot of rain in the spring, so we didn't get most of our corn planted until June. I believe we planted even later than we did this year. And that year, we finished picking corn in January of 2010. So I'm hoping that this year doesn't turn into something like that, but you never know. We should be in better shape this year because I'm thinking that in 2009 we got a frost before all the corn was mature, and then it just stayed wet forever. But this corn, most of it matured. We might have some of it that didn't quite get black layer before that first frost. So I think we'll be in a little bit better shape than that. One of my biggest complaints about this combine, and it's the same as when we had our 9650, is the climate control. It's terrible. Say you got it set at whatever, I don't even know if it, yeah, it does say temperatures on there, but say you got it set and you're a little bit chilly, so you turn it up one notch, it'll just blast the heat till it gets warm enough, and then you're sweating by the time the temperature changes. It's terrible. But other than that, I really like the combine. Look how green this corn is. I don't really know why, but wet corn does not auger very fast. I don't know, I really don't know why. It's just, when the corn's over 25%, it just takes forever for this tank to unload. It doesn't make any sense to me. So here's a fun story. Back in 2009, let's see, I would have been in junior high. So since we finished picking corn so late, we got a few snows in December, and when you're trying to pick corn in the snow, the problem that you have is the snow gets into the machine's warm, and then it melts, and it plugs up your sieves, and then you start dumping all your corn out the back. So what we ended up doing was, while I was on Christmas break, Dad and I and Grandpa would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. We would pick corn from 2:30 until the sun came out. That way the air temperature was cold enough that you could get the snow through the back of the combine without melting. And as soon as the sun come out, we had to quit. We did that 2 or 3 days. I thought it was cool because I was in junior high, but it really was not cool. And I really hope we don't have to do that again this year. I wasn't in junior high, I was a sophomore in high school. I couldn't do math there for a minute. I just stopped here, I did a power shutdown to see how much I'm losing out the back. I'm really having a hard time getting this combine dialed in. So a good way to tell if you're losing corn out the back is to go into the first couple rows that you haven't picked right next to where you ran and see how much corn is on the ground. And that tells you that it's coming out the chopper. Right now I'm counting about 5 or 6 kernels. So I know I'm losing some. I need to figure out why though. I've been messing with the adjustments ever since we started and I just cannot get it dialed in. I don't know what the deal is. There's 2 kinds of loss. There's rotor loss and shoe loss. And the way to tell if it's rotor loss is to find a cob and just see if you got all the kernels off of it, which I did. So I'm pretty sure I'm losing it out the sieves. So I need to adjust the fan speed and the sieves, is what that's telling me. I know some people run their bottom sieve wide open, so I'm gonna try that for now. I don't want to get too dirty of a sample because we're putting this in the bin and we don't want a whole lot of fines in there. So we'll see what that does. I'll make a pass here and see how dirty it is. For those of you who don't know, I'll try to explain what the sieves are. They're a bunch of rows of teeth or fingers. They're kind of, I don't know, they kind of look like fingers. And you change the pitch of them to allow either more trash or less trash in, and they kind of shake like this. As the crop moves through the combine, the corn falls down through the sieves and into the grain tank, and then the chaff keeps moving across the top and goes out the back. We got Dylan in the auger cart today. Say hi, Dylan. He waved, I missed it. Lunch is here. Today is the local FFA brat lunch sale at the elevator. When I was in high school, we started that up. Sell brats to all the farmers for a fundraiser. The brats are really good, and it goes to a good cause. Good job, FFA. That's a top-notch brat. You can just take that to the truck. Brandon's got your lunch down there. Wow, I just got a text that the brat lunch is sold out already, so I guess we got ours just in time. It's only 12:30 and they sold out. That's awesome. Well, we just got that field done. We're gonna hop over to that field that was wetter where we were at this morning, top off the auger cart, and then see what we've got in the bin. I don't really know what we're gonna do after this, so need some fuel in the combine. I guess now would be a good time to do that. Don't want to fall in there. Well, that's enough 30% corn for one day. Let's go make a new plan. We decided to move down the road a little ways. We got some 108-day corn planted June 2nd, so that's probably our next driest corn. Probably won't be that dry though, since it was planted in June. But we won't know unless we try. Well, looks like we're gonna test out the new truck. Well, this corn has a 23.3% moisture on average. So I don't really want to pick that. It's still a little more than I want to spend on drying. It's standing good right now. I'd still rather give it a little more time out in the field to dry naturally. But I don't know. We gotta come up with a new plan. Well, that load of corn tested 25%, so I think we might just take a couple days off and regroup. They're calling for rain early next week, and we've got some beans that might be ready after that. We also had a little unexpected excitement. Dad hauled that load of corn to the elevator and the back axle busted off the hopper. So we'll have to deal with that. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing our new truck. And thank you very much for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome. See you next time.